The national portion of the real estate exam focuses on two critical concepts that students often confuse, which are the chain of title and the abstract of title. Understanding the chain of title starts with visualizing a literal chain where every link represents a different owner of a specific piece of property, starting from the very first person to hold the original grant up to the current owner. If any of those links are broken or missing because a deed was never recorded or a name was misspelled, then the chain is broken and we have what the exam calls a cloud on the title. You will likely see exam questions asking how to fix this broken chain, and the answer is almost always a suit to quiet title or the use of a quitclaim deed to release a potential interest. The abstract of title takes things a step further because it is not just a list of names, but a comprehensive, condensed history of every recorded document that affects the property. This includes every deed, every mortgage, every lien, and every easement that has ever been filed in the public records regarding that land. When a title examiner sits down to create an abstract, they are looking for anything that might impact the bundle of rights. On the exam, they will try to trick you by asking if an abstract of title guarantees that the title is good. The answer is a firm no, because an abstract is simply a summary of what is found in the public record and it does not offer insurance or a guarantee of validity. Title examiners typically search back at least 40 years because this is the standard period required to establish a marketable title in most jurisdictions. You might encounter a scenario on the exam where a buyer receives an abstract and then discovers a hidden lien later on. In this case, the abstractor might be liable for negligence if they missed the recorded document, but the abstract itself did not provide the title insurance that protects the buyer from financial loss. This leads to a major exam point, which is the difference between an abstractor who compiles the history and an attorney who provides a legal opinion on that history. A certificate of title is an opinion on the status of the title based on an examination of the records, but it still is not title insurance. To keep these straight for exam day, you can use the mnemonic phrase link for chain and book for abstract. Think of the chain of title as the links of ownership and the abstract as the entire book or summary of the property story. If the exam asks about the complete sequential ownership history, you are looking for the chain of title. If it asks for the condensed summary of all recorded documents, including encumbrances, then the answer is the abstract of title. Another common confusion point is the concept of constructive notice versus actual notice. Recording a document in the public records provides constructive notice to the entire world, regardless of whether anyone actually looks at the record. An abstract of title is the tool used to pull all that constructive notice into one readable document for the buyer. If a link is missing from the chain of title, it means there is a gap that prevents the owner from proving a clear path of ownership back to the original source. The exam loves to test if the abstract includes unrecorded documents. It does not, because the abstractor only summarizes what is in the public record. If someone has an unrecorded claim to the land, like through adverse possession, that would not show up in the abstract. Always look for the word summary when the question is about the abstract, and look for the word sequence when the question is about the chain of title to avoid falling for the exam distractors. It is also vital to recognize that an abstractor does not verify the signature on a deed or the mental capacity of the grantor. They simply report what is in the file, which is why an attorney opinion or title insurance is needed to address risks the abstract cannot reveal.